try adding a drum roll. Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Sample Hunter. As you would have seen in the preview, we are sampling a candle top. It was a glass candle that has an aluminium top that I decided to bash up with my stick. Doesn't sound ominous at all. So what I've done here is recorded some drum rolls, which you'll see from the clip, and we're trying to then turn that into a completely different sound. We will start investigating how we can record more sounds, drum hits in particular, and convert those into a really solid, usable sound that can be used as a kick or a snare. Now, in this particular episode, we're looking at how I used the drumstick to create a very simple drum roll. Now, what I do is run through them as standard and then just explain some of the effects that I've applied afterwards to get the sound that we've come up with. Now, the first one, we have the standard drum roll. No processing really on that. The only thing that I've added is just a little bit of a boost in the EQ and rolling off low and top end. So what I do now is add in what I've put on in terms of the effects and then show you the end result. Now, with it giving the guitar effect, which comes from the wandering resonance, it continues to carry that drum roll underneath it. So if you were using a guitar featuring in a track, it gives you the opportunity to try and experiment with different sounds that on a build-up or a bridge where you might want to incorporate that guitar sound that's slightly distorted, maybe slightly detuned, and different from the original hook that plays through the track. You can have that drum roll and a guitar in the build, or just galloping in the background to give it that rhythm. But again, this is just a very quick look at what you can do from within the house with a drumstick and a candle in this case. So on to the next one. Let's just solo that. And we have the low rider drums effects on that. Now let's just play that. As normal, slight bit of tuning, slight bit of pitch on that we've changed. So let's go back in there and add the low rider drums and see the effect that it gives. Again, the sound does continue to keep the drum roll just faintly in the background, but it's almost like a metallic sound that it offers. We've got that the frequency set to A. We've got the decay at 1.33 seconds, and then we've got the high frequency damping on 12%, and the input send on 7.9 dBs, and the dry and wet is up to 55. And as you can tell, it gives like as if someone's banging on a bonnet or a warehouse door. Great for sound effects, great for adding into an intro where you're trying to build the track, build the concept and draw people into what potentially may come next with that real dark industrial sound. And again, from my perspective, there's very little thought that's gone into this. We're just giving you some quick tips on what we enjoy doing as a sample pack platform, but also how we experiment with samples and how we try and create really, really good solid sounds from organic means. Right, so let's go on to the third one. Let's play it as it is. So that's, as you can tell, a little bit tighter in terms of the roll. And then we've got the octaves modulator on there as well. And that gives it's almost like a digital cricket, a robotic cricket that could be purring in the background. And, again, it doesn't lose the nature of that rhythmic drumming sound that comes behind it. I don't know if anyone's ever been to Portugal or Brazil or even Spain, the cicadas. These guys, they just croak and croak and croak, but they have a rhythm to them, I guess, which is very similar to using sound manipulation like this. Now, why we are looking at this, we could just try and throw something completely different on there and add a hybrid reverb. Should we just go in there with the Hall and let's stick that on there. There we are. And let's see what happens. I'm just pulling it out as it is, and that's the artificial flutter Hall. Let's maybe just tweak some of the damping, decay. And that's a perfect example there of just how you can free flow and just pull in another sound effect, you know, or layering another sound over the top of a sound that you already have that you feel might need a little bit more depth. This is just 3 or 4 different ways that you can take a natural sound and turn it into something completely different that features in the track, that not only has that uniqueness, but there's a personal touch to it. You created it, made it, recorded it, you know, and did what you did to create it into that feature sound in your track. But I hope this has been useful to you guys, and it's something that you will try and incorporate in your production, whether it's sample hunting or just messing around and manipulating a sound that you already have. In the meantime, have an amazing day, and we'll see you at the next one.